Hey YouTube, so this is going to be like a little follow-up video on the blueberries I planted a couple weeks back. And this is awesome! All these little flowers. This is the big plant. I don't know if you guys can see the blueberries. They're coming! But this is the big bush. Now, I just wanted to reiterate that this big bush was the same size as these small bushes. So I got the 3 that I planted. 1, 2, 3. And cool enough, this one actually has a little blueberry on it. It's going to be ripening up. These have some flowers. This one doesn't have much, but I'm actually starting to think I might have planted these a little bit too close together, but we'll see how it goes. Now these over here, they get a little bit more sun, and you can see the little berries on these bad boys. Or maybe you can't. There, right there. Here's some little flowers on this guy. And this small one right here. So there's 2. I got the Big Daddy, and I got 3 over there. I actually have another one on my back porch, and I'm going to show you guys what I got going on in the backyard too. Try to wrap this up as quick as I can. I'll show you guys what I got up here on the porch. This is that other blueberry bush that I've actually had in here. I think about the same time I planted the other one out front. But I had this one in this pot, and I had a bunch of aloe vera in there, but the frost killed that. But that one's looking pretty good. You can see the difference in size with this one being so close to the other plants. It didn't get nearly as big as that one out front. It's probably about a little bigger than the other one I have. Those other 5. This is some thyme. I use this a lot. I had a little rosemary here, but I don't know what it is. Like I haven't had luck growing rosemary, and it's one of my favorite cooking herbs, so bummer. But thyme is pretty good. This smells really good. This is actually, I think, a lemon thyme. It's great for certain dishes. Got some onions in there. And this is my pride and joy. My mom has a degree in horticulture and agriculture, and she was basically telling me that I couldn't keep this pepper plant alive every winter. This had been growing all last summer, and it was starting to get cold, and I had this down at my parents' house, and I dug them up and put them in these little pots and kept them inside all winter under some grow lights and stuff. But look at this. I'm pretty sure I might be one of the first people to have a jalapeno growing in North Carolina this early, which is really exciting actually, because this thing's pretty big. I got another pepper plant over here, but this one doesn't have any peppers. No flowers, no peppers. This is my pineapple tree. Thing is awesome, right? We got lettuce, this is cabbage that's going to seed. This stuff has been planted in here probably getting close to about 2 years, and it's going strong. Now this was, I was hoping this would come back. This was oregano. Still smells good dried. These big vine things you see growing here, these are grapevines. Muscadine. No grapes yet, but they just started coming out with their leaves. Pretty excited. It's back down to the patchy blackberries. Now the great thing about these is a thornless variety. So as you might know, a lot of blackberries have thorns. These don't. It makes them very easy to pick. You can see all these white flowers. These are going to be where the blackberries will come from. And I'm super excited. Looks like I'm going to get tons of blackberries. Alright, this is the last little stop, and I've actually been meaning to show some of this because this stuff is getting crazy. I had all this planted from last fall when I made these beds, and I've been filling up that back bed with like just stuff I can compost. But here we have some red cabbage. These did great. They look beautiful. These are just like beautiful plants. Let's see if I can get a close-up of these leaves, like the colors. I love it. And I like cabbage. Now these are the green cabbages, and these are all, basically everything else is going to seed, and it's starting to flower, which means it's trying to die. It's trying to put out seeds so it can die. And what you can do if you want to try to prevent this is you can clip off these flowers, and it'll kind of trigger the vegetative growth again instead of the reproductive growth. I got some curly kale down here. Maybe not the best light, but you can see this thing is thick. I got big, nice kale leaves, and these are like so sweet and good. I just come out and eat about like a leaf a day. All organic, no pesticides, no herbicides. This is broccoli. Broccoli is also a brassica. One of the cool things about brassicas is probably one of my favorite types of plants, or family, whatever they are. But all these brassicas, you can tell they have these yellow flowers. These smaller yellow flowers. So broccoli, the kale, the cabbage, all those are brassicas, and they all have similar looking flowers. Very pretty, very enticing for pollinators. Oh, sweet. So, in the discount, or kind of like, I don't know what you call it, sell off, towards the end of the growing season basically, Lowe's and places like Home Depot, nurseries, tend to have plants that are at a discount rate. They're just trying to get rid of them, probably about to die. I got 2 Russian sages last year for like $2.50 each, and they were huge. They were like this tall, and they had these really nice purple flowers. They smelled great, and they died back. I planted them, and here they are starting to re-emerge. One little tip to get this new growth coming back: break off the dead parts that are going to be woody. Those aren't going to come back, and if you break those off, like if we come down here and you see you can't really see too well. Right there's a little twig that I broke off. Basically, I try to break it off as close as I could back down towards the base, and that allows for the new growth to emerge. And as you can see, those Russian sages are coming back. This right here, this little dead thing, that was my latest rosemary that has also died. So I don't know what's up with that. I gotta get some tips or something. Another really cool, these are my onions that I planted in here. Things are really cool plants. I like these little spiky things. But coming over to the last bed, starting to make like a little walkway over to a grandparent's house. Actually, I got 2 little things to show. We got the Buddha underneath the fig tree over there. It's just starting to get its leaves to come back out. My new little fig leaves. They look like hands. The Buddha. Coming over here. This is just kind of like a little bed that I'm letting go wild. I have lavender and mint. This is just a regular mint. This is the lavender, and I was hoping to let the mint take over this whole bed. As you can see back there, it's starting to, go wild. The lavender is getting, God, just rubbing it makes your hands smell so good. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a sleep pillow, but you could take like a little, I don't know, like pillowcase and put a bunch of lavender in there and put it next to wherever you're resting your head before you go to sleep. And it's a very calming aroma, and it's supposed to help you relax and get to sleep. This bed is gone completely wild. The rhubarb started popping back up when it got warmer out. The rhubarb is the one with these big large leaves, and as you can see, this alien stalk is also going to seed, and it's making these flowers, and I just wanted to let it go and see how freaking big it got, and it's huge. And quick little fun fact, things like this clover in here can actually be very beneficial. You can see these other rhubarb plants about, you know, a fraction of the size. These clover is a nitrogen fixer. It's a legume, and so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the overall size, that clover patch right in there, I think is feeding this rhubarb plant much more than, say, these other rhubarbs that don't have that patch of clover down at its base. So just interesting, something I noticed, wanted to make note of for future experiments. Also part of the brassicas are the radishes. And let's see what we got down in here. I'm just gonna pull one up. So this was my daikon radishes. Looks pretty puny. This is the first time I ever tried to grow radishes, and one thing I will do next time is give them probably like at least a foot to a foot and a half of soil, because they need it. I think all these root crops like carrots, potatoes, I want to try to grow more and more of these, because I think if you give them the right kind of environment, they grow really well. But this isn't it for me. I need to get a little bit deeper so they have room to grow. These things will get huge if you give them the room. I'm talking about absolutely huge. So that's about it. It's just a beautiful day out here, and I want to give you guys a quick little update on all my plants and things, and hopefully I'll have some new cool stuff to show you guys gardening wise the next couple weeks. I'm actually about to go down to my parents' house this weekend and try to plant about 10 apple trees. And I have, I think, 6 planted right now. But I tell you, if you just do this like piecewise and take it little by little, it can get expensive. But if you do it this way, not only do you give yourself some time to experiment, see what grows well in your area, how it grows, get a little bit of understanding of the plants that you want to grow, and then over time, man, just gardening and growing things is turning into such an enjoyable hobby of mine, and I want to share that joy that it brings me. It brings me a lot of peace and happiness, and I love checking on my plants and watching them grow and eating them. So I mean, it's great. Grow some shit. Have a good day, guys.